Welcome to the Bludd Heart Podcast, episode 4. What we do here is talk about Diablo and what's going on in my Diablo games, and then we kind of divert to other media, entertainment, gaming news, and things like that. I typically post episodes on Tuesday once a week, and I try to make them at least like 40 minutes long. Eventually, maybe we can get them to like an hour. It just really depends on the topics and the news of the week. This week's topics include Amazon Prime deals. Yes, Prime Day is on the way. And we're going to talk a little bit about Diablo 3 botting. It's a subject I don't talk too much about on my YouTube channel, podcast, or even on my stream. But we're going to crack it open today. It's kind of a little crazy this season. It's been a little out of control. And the Wheel of Death returns. Yes, if you don't know what the Wheel of Death is, you'll find out very soon. My personal week in Diablo has been really, really good, actually. I've been basically just pushing all day long, nonstop, on multiple characters. The Necromancer is almost there. It's my 4th or 5th alt for the season. I need a few more items. After the podcast tonight, I'm probably going to roll quite a few items, and I have about like 7,000 DBs saved up and like 50,000 materials. I know. Yeah. I'm probably going to go through and roll a bunch of stuff and try to get upgrades for the Necromancer. It's been oddly challenging to gear out Necromancer this season. I'm not exactly sure. Like Witch Doctor was my first alt. I geared it up relatively quickly. We hit a 124 on stream today. Pretty happy about that. Anything around 125 as an alt character, I'd be pretty happy with. A Wizard, we geared out relatively quick. It did take over 20 days to get my Fazula belt. That was pretty funny on stream. It's just a huge meme, right? I mean, it took over 20 days to get a belt. Many blood shards were spent. Many materials were used, but we ended up getting a primal. So we got a primal belt. Yesterday we got a 127. So I'll be fishing for 128s tomorrow on stream, most likely. And it was kind of tough today, man. It was kind of tough. A lot of fishing and very few conduits and all that stuff. You're basically in the hands of RNGesus when it comes to fishing. We all kind of go through it, right? And then, of course, our hardcore character, our hardcore demon hunter from the Let's Play. We're going to get into that, but good progress was made. More upgrades, more builds. I finally got the speed build locked down pretty well, so now we're farming keys effectively. It's just been a lot of grinding and just pushing late season, trying to get those clears in. On my day off this week, I went to a winery, had some fun with friends, had a few drinks. The weather was perfect. Really can't say much about it. Good friends, a good conversation, good drinks. You know what I mean? I learned I mostly like dry wine. I really hate anything too sweet. I did a bunch of samples and tried almost everything. And it was, I don't like anything too sweet. You know me, you might know me. I am more of an IPA guy. I like double and even triple IPAs. Really bitter taste. So maybe that's why the dries fit me a little bit more. But let me know what your favorite drink is in the comments below on YouTube. And, you know, if you're not listening to this on the YouTube, you can always tweet me. Twitter.com/Bluddshed, BLUDDSHED. It was a good day. So the drinks, and then we went out to dinner, right? Got some salsa, got some tacos. It was pretty good. And then we topped the day off watching a movie. We all went to go see Midsummer. So a lot of us are horror movie buffs. We like the scary movies. We like to be frightened. It's really fun. And Midsummer was not scary whatsoever. No spoilers. I just want to put that out there and say no spoilers. No direct spoilers, but it definitely wasn't scary whatsoever. I wouldn't really recommend it to anybody unless you're into weird movies or you're into I was interested the whole way. I was definitely interested, but it wasn't so terrifying like Hereditary was. Hereditary also made Midsummer. It's the same director, so it was interesting. I'd recommend it if you like things that are weird and wacky. But it was not exactly scary, and there was not exactly plot twists or anything out of the ordinary. But it got good ratings. Everybody seems to like it. So what are you gonna do? All right, let's just tackle this right away. Let's get on to some Diablo news, okay? Botting is out of control. It's out of control many seasons, but Blizzard does a good job, at least an okay job at going through, and once a season I feel like they do 1 or 2 ban waves. But we're about 50 plus days in the season, about 2 months in, and it's kind of crazy right now. And the reason why I'm even talking about it, a user by the name of Hakian on Reddit posted his little kind of breakdown of the top clears on the leaderboards. Like he did like a little data work. Okay, so he ran the numbers, and we're going to cover that here today. And, you know, you can always say, I always tell people, hey, man, there's botters in every game. There's tons of times where there's aim botters in other games. I remember in World of Warcraft, everyone used to buy gold, item trading in Diablo 2. Like there's been many history of video games, and people are going to find shortcuts no matter what. But I guess it's here. The post is on Reddit. Everyone's asking me about it. So it's kind of like, okay, you can only put it under the bed or in the closet so long before it overfills and you have to deal with it, right? You can only sweep it on the rug so many times. So on July 7th, 2019, it marked the 52nd day of the season. He was tracking the top 1,000 clears and thought, maybe that's too much. Let me just look at the top players on the leaderboards. So he sampled the players, 120 players that have completed a GR 148 or higher. So this is not even including a lot of other people. This is just like the highest of the high 4-man groups that have completed a GR 148 or higher. Okay. The average Paragon was 3,517, which is crazy high. Crazy high. Now, rat runs, if you don't know, they are based on the Singularity spell, the Singularity Necromancer spell that was buffed through the LON this season. So Singularity, aka rat runs, are even better now this season than they'll probably ever be, because you don't have to use the rings, right? So you can use the Skeletal Mage rings, and you can use like COE, all the good stuff, Crispins, you can use everything. So arguably, this will be the worst it ever is. Unless, of course, we get another seasonal theme that is actually more impactful, right? Again, if you don't know what rat runs are, it's short for Rathma. It's a Necromancer class set, and we used to use the Rathma set with the Singularity spell. It just so happens we have this crazy lawn bow in it bonus, so now I guess it's called Lawn Singularity runs. But anyway, he goes on to say the average total hours played across all classes was 773 hours. Approximately 14 hours and 50 minutes per day since the start of the season. Wow, dude, that is so stupid. It's basically 15 hours a day playing. And yeah, yikes, right? So obviously there's a botting issue here, because nobody in their right mind can do 15 hours a day for 52 days. I mean, I'm a streamer, and I do like 7 hours a day, 6 days a week. I average like 6.5, right? Because I do like 7 hours a day, 6 days a week. So that factors in my day off also. So I'm like close to 7 hours, because we did go crazy early season. So there's like a spike in the beginning for me. And then my playtime kind of levels out to about 7 hours, 7 hours a day. Wow, 15 hours a day. Can you imagine if you did keep it up though? I mean, that's like you have an hour to, I mean, most people sleep 8 hours. So let's say you're not most people. Let's say you sleep 4 hours a day. Okay. So now you have 5 hours a day to, I guess you don't work, right? Or you don't have kids, realistically. So you have 5 hours a day to shower, eat, and I don't know, you live, I guess. And then you sleep 4 hours. I mean, I guess it seems more possible if you just didn't work and you didn't have kids or a job or anything, right? You just literally play Diablo a day. That's so crazy. It's not really obtainable by anyone. That's why when people say, hey, Blood, why aren't you really pushing the leaderboards? It's because I know this, right? People put crazy amount of hours in. And Diablo is one of the only races in the game where, imagine you line up 20 people and you say, go, race. And they go, wait, how long are we racing? Like, what do you mean? You just say, you run until everyone else collapses and you're the only one standing. That's basically what it's like. So I always encourage people to go against your own, your own greatest clear, compete against yourself, right? Because it's just going to be crazy competing against people that are putting in 15 hours a day, right? So just to recap, 120 players surveyed on the board that have completed a GR 148 or higher in a 4-man setting. The average Paragon was 3,517. The total hours played across those players were an average of 773, approximately 15 hours a day. Wow. Okay. He goes, in reality, it's actually higher since the downtime of the server and unplanned maintenance was not taken into consideration. That's true, actually. He said Necromancer by far was the most popular class with playtime, air quotes, with an average of 383 hours. So yeah, it makes sense. We just talked about the rat runs and Singularity Spell and how powerful it is in a group setting. So that makes sense that Necromancer is the most popular. He said Witch Doctor was by far the least popular class with a playtime with just an average of 2 hours and 30 minutes. Wow. So that's crazy, right? But there's not that many Witch Doctors on the leaderboard, so the information's inconclusive. Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, rifts and completed bounties were all over the place, so I can't say too much about those. Wow, he showed us like this little graph here, which I'll link it in the YouTube VOD, basically. 18 hours a day since the start of the season. There's actually a group of players. Okay, so 41 of the 120 players that we talked about exceeded an average of 18 hours per day. So we just talked about the 15 hours. The very top, like the 1%ers, the 1%ers, the tippity top, actually have played 18 hours a day every day. And he said an average like that is humanly possible for a short while, but 2 months is highly unlikely, right? So, wow, damn. Hopefully they do some ban waves this season because it's actually out of control. And I usually will not blame the botters because I feel like people will always take the easiest pathway, everyone's always going to gravitate toward the easiest route. Like if there's an overpowered comp in a video game, people are going to do it just to actually make it easier, right? You're going to rank up faster, or farming gold in a loot cave in Destiny is more effective. You're going to farm the loot cave. So it's really up to Blizzard's job or the Diablo team to run the bot program, even if it does cost them money. Because I would imagine if you run Warden or you ban a bunch of people for botting, then they're going to do customer service tickets, and then you're using customer service hours. And there's like a lot that goes into running a company. So yeah, but I mean, this is crazy, right? It's just almost like a joke at this point. And then what it does is it encourages other people to do it. I get questions all day about using illegal programs on stream. And, Blood, like, why not? Why shouldn't I bot? Because other people are botting. It's too blatant. But they do run ban waves, to Blizzard's credit, I guess. They do run ban waves at least once a season, I've noticed. And we'll always jump up like 10 to 20 levels, right? Something like that. So it's noticeable, and it does happen. So he said last season we saw people without 150 clears get banned. So hours played hopefully carries more weight. Yeah, hopefully that there's just more banning in general. And then he listed a bunch of players, but I'm not going to talk about the players. Again, I don't really going to get mad at every single player in the community. I almost never call for this stuff. I don't even think I've ever done one ban video on YouTube. Like if you type in Bluddshed and like ban video or something, I've never actually done one video because it's just like, what are you going to do, man? You can't fight the whole world. You got to go to the source. You know what I mean? You got to chop the head off the snake, if you will. So hopefully Blizzard does something. 1 or 2 ban waves is sufficient. At least it shows that you're trying and you don't stand for it. You got to fight for the freaking right of the community, I guess. I guess it's kind of fun to talk about because it's so actually crazy. Like 18 hours a day. At what point are you like, come on, bruh? Come on, bruh. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's talk about something cooler. All right? Something more relaxing. Let's talk about the Wheel of Death returning. I need a graphic for it, or like a little sound bite. The Wheel of Death. Okay, so if you don't know what the Wheel of Death is, It's something I started during my hardcore series. There's a point during hardcore where things will get a little stagnant. You know, you're just farming augments. I'm getting 13 gems to level 50, and it gets stagnant. It's what it is. It's a chill game. Diablo's a chill, relaxing game, whatever. So what I did was I added a thing called the Wheel of Death, where we would spin it periodically, you know, and something would happen. Like, let's say I have to use a chaos potion for a rift, or I have to push a personal best, or I have to push a personal best with no cheat death, right? It puts you in situations that maybe make you more uncomfortable to increase the chance your character dies or to make it more hype, right? Because it does get stagnant. And even on hardcore with permadeath, when you're doing speeds, you don't really take too much damage. You might go a whole week without getting procced if you're doing speed runs. So that's where the Wheel of Death comes in. So this Saturday, the 13th, I guess it's like an ominous day now. I film hardcore episodes on Saturdays and Wednesdays. So on Saturday the 13th, I'm going to have like a subathon / Wheel of Death stream. So like, for instance, I don't know the exact numbers. I'm going to work it out. For instance, every 10 subs I get, I'm going to spin the wheel and we're just going to go through the different ones. Like we talked about earlier, one of them is going to be push a personal best with no cheat death, right? How about destroy a random item on my main push build of my choosing, or of chat's choosing? I don't know. So it was going to be some really punishing things. And the hardcore character isn't actually stagnant yet. I actually just got my gear going. I have no augments, but I think it'll be fun for like a mini subathon / Wheel of Death thing. And it'll make it fun for hopefully everybody. Somebody from chat suggested that I cover up the health on my screen, which is so terrifying to think of. I mean, imagine playing hardcore and not knowing how much health you have. Oh my God. Or like, yeah, I mean, I guess the screen would flash red and then you'd know when to pop your potion. One of the other Wheel of Death things that we had was unbind your potion. So you have to manually click it. And it's kind of nerve wracking because you're trying to like use the mouse and hit your hotkey bar. It's tough. I think it's going to be a fun stream. I might have 5 to 10 challenges on it. I won't make it too crazy. I'll try to make it as balanced as possible, but I think it'll be fun for everyone. It'll be Saturday. I'm not sure what time, maybe early morning to midday. And I think it'll be fun as well, like I was saying. And if you have any ideas for challenges, definitely tweet me, right? Twitter.com/Bluddshed. Comment on the video. You can hit me up on Patreon or Facebook. I pretty much Bluddshed everywhere. So the Wheel of Death is on its way back. I need to actually make a custom graphic for it, like so we can cut to a different scene and have like the Wheel of Death, and then like, yeah, I need to like really doctor it up to make it even more, I guess, dramatic or grandiose. So I'll probably get into that as well tonight. I'll probably make a note. AFK 1 second. Hold on, let me make a note, guys. 1 second. All right, let's move into some community questions. What is the community asking Blood all week long? Well, I constantly get this week, how long does the season last? How long until the PTR? And what are the Haedrig's gifts? So I think we're about 2 months into the season, and people are just wondering, I guess like 2.5 months or so, almost 2 months. People are asking, like, you know, they're thinking about season 18. What's the future? What's the next theme going to be? And they want to know when it starts and all that stuff. So all you have to do is head over to d3resource.com. They keep track of all the stuff, like the PTRs, the season lengths, the conquests, the Haedrig's, pretty much everything. So if you're curious what the Haedrig's gifts are, you can go to the website. It's just the letter D, the number 3, and then resource, d3resource.com. The Haedrig's are going to be Raycor, which is a great start for Barb. Akan for Crusaders, which is a great start. Akan's the everything set. You can build into whatever you want. Marauder, which is slow but powerful. You can actually build a multi-shot variation at a Marauder. Inna's, which is another kind of, you can use whatever you want. Inna's is really powerful, and you get a weapon with the Haedrig. Pestilence for Necro, which is crazy fast. Blight Spear, right? Zuni, which is really powerful. You can use a Sage set with it. I guess everything's been buffed, so everything's good, right? DMO for Wizard, which is actually pretty slow because they have to be in the bubble. But overall, DMO is a strong build. It's probably like a low 120 viable build, not even counting whatever seasonal theme we get. We talked about seasonal themes a few weeks ago, and one of those themes was an endless walk set. So if all these builds have an endless walk or a COE season, right, or even a COE season, if any of these actually have that, then it just amplifies the sets even further. So the Hadrix gifts are on a set rotation. So it's like Raycor, Waste, IK, Earth. So these are barb sets. Raycor, Waste, IK, Earth. It's in the same 4 rotation. It hasn't actually changed since season 1. So they've been on the same set rotation, and you can predict what we're going to get. The PTR lead time is also tracked. Now, we've had as long as 100 days. We got the PTR 100 days early in season 11. That was the Necro, like the launch of Necro, and that was the season 12 PTR. The season 12 was kind of like the new era of Diablo. Like, so we had seasons 1 through 11 where you could only really play 1 or 2 builds a season, maybe 2 builds, maybe, right? That was kind of like an era. That's how I look at it. We got the Necro and all that stuff. And then season 12 happened and everything got buffed. They just threw multipliers at everything. It was like buff everything. Oprah, right? You get a buff, you get a buff, you get a buff. Now all of a sudden multiple builds are viable, and it made the game so much better. They did that in season 12. They did that in season 16 and 17. So 100 days was the longest lead time. The shortest lead time we ever had, ever, is 38 days. So you know, if we're going to get a season, we're going to get the PTR 38 days before the season goes live. There's been times where we've had no actual PTR, right? There was like almost a year there with no PTR. Season 13, 14, 15, no PTR. So if there's going to be a patch, we're going to get the PTR 38 days at the earliest, which means we should be getting the PTR on Tuesday, which means actually, well, not today. Today's Tuesday. I guess it could post today. That would be shocking since I'm posting this podcast on Tuesday. But the 16th would be my guess, or the 23rd at the latest, if it's going to come out in August. Why do I think it's going to come out in August? Because Blizzard came out and said, we want to make every season length 3 months. That's our goal. Our average we want to shoot for is a 3-month long season. 3 months would be August 18th, roughly, which means a month before that would be July 18th, roughly. So the last 2 PTR lead times was 46 days and 42 days, which is even longer than the 38 days. D3resource.com, you can check out all the stuff. They even have the conquests and everything there. You can organize it by all kinds of things. And they even have like a difficulty overview and other resources that you can check out. It's great that I stream because I hang out with the community 6 days a week. And I get to hear what everyone's saying. I don't always agree with it, but I get to hear what people are thinking, man. I get to pick apart your guys' brains and make the podcast even better and talk to the people about what it's important to them, you know, and they want to know the theme. They want to know what's next, what we're getting, when does it typically come out. And I'll be there to cover it every step of the way when we're making videos on the PTR, starter guides, and covering the patch notes and what it means for the builds. All right, in other gaming news, are you guys ready? Hey, are you guys ready for Prime Day? It's coming. Prime Day is on the 15th and 16th, okay? It's a 48-hour event. Let me bring up the list here. There is some banger deals. Hopefully you guys have Twitch Prime. If you do, don't forget you can link your account and subscribe to Bluddshed. Twitch.tv/Bluddshed. Always appreciated, okay? Great way to show support. Anyway, there's some game discounts. We're going to cover them here. Kingdom Hearts 3, PS4, and Xbox. It's going to go from $50 to $30, or $60 to $30. $29.99 for Kingdom Hearts 3. I haven't actually played it. I don't know why I wasn't hype about it, but I might pick it up for that price. Nier Automata is on sale for $23.99. Bloodstained is this new game that people have been playing on Twitch. It's on sale for like $32. Wolfenstein, $32. There's some stuff that Sekiro game, that the new Dark Souls, the Eastern Dark Souls game. That's going to be on sale as well. I think it's $47.30. The regular price is probably $60. Mario Maker is on sale for like 50 cents. Is that real? I'm not even sure. This is crazy. It says 59. Let me click on it. Yeah, I don't know if Mario Maker's on sale, but it says it is. Crackdown's $30. Devil May Cry 5 is $49.80. Is there any other good ones? Oh, the Death Adder. I do have a Death Adder. I actually played with a Death Adder at BlizzCon. It was the first time I ever used one, and went home and bought one because I was like, man, this is so cool. I used it with Overwatch and some shooters. Honestly, I don't use it that much anymore, but I feel like it is easier to aim and to play an FPS with. I don't know if you guys have Death Adders, but I think this is a really good mouse. I just use my Razer Naga and then I don't like swap it out. You know, I guess I'm so comfortable with the Naga. I've been using the Razer Naga since World of Warcraft days and haven't really changed it out too much since then. So yeah, the Corsair K95 Platinum keyboard is $30 off. What else we got? Twitch Prime offers. Buy the Overwatch League 2019 All Access Pass and get 500 bits. Okay. I guess there's a bunch of like freebies that they have, like maybe crossover promotions that you can get. Anyway, definitely check it out. Don't miss out. Prime Day is the 15th and the 16th. I'll probably pick up a few things. And I think, I just saw this right now. Prime Day discount on Twitch merch. So you can get that. It says offer ends July 16th as well. You can do that if you have Amazon Prime. They do have purple hoodies on sale, but they're not really purple hoodies. So I'm loading up the website right here. Yeah, they're like not the classic hoodie. They're like a newer version, a different take on the normal hoodie. But the iconic purple Twitch hoodie, those were like a promo they gave to certain streamers and content creators like way back in the day, like 2015 or something like that. It was like a special run and they don't make them anymore apparently. But that's like the iconic hoodie that everyone had back in the day, but they don't, yeah, they have other purple hoodies, but it's not the same, okay? I'm gonna go to TwitchCon and I'm gonna find a real purple hoodie and I'm gonna figure this out. All right, let's segue into other gaming news. Animal Crossing. The new Animal Crossing for the Switch. It's called New Horizons. There was recently a developer interview where they talked about a lot of new features. We're gonna go through the Q&A here on stream. I'm just gonna read it for you. Basically word for word, that way you get the full gist of what I'm seeing. Like a lot of you guys, I saw the trailer at E3 and it looked pretty good. I mean, this is the announcement we all wanted if you were watching the Nintendo conference. The game releases March 20th, 2020. So next year in March, right? And the trailer like added more questions because it looked like they were terraforming the land and like creating all kinds of roads. I don't know, it looks like they were doing things that aren't normally in Animal Crossing. So I had a lot of questions and they recently shed some light on some of these things. The reporter asked, what's the premise of the new game? And Mr. Kyogoku said, Tom Nook started a new business which offers a new package called the Nook Inc. It's a deserted island getaway package. Players begin the game with this package and move to a deserted island. So you start out on a deserted island and that's like your starting point, I guess. It's kind of like maybe Minecraft, they had those island survival games, or Skyblock Survival. Maybe it's something like that. And then they asked, why does the player start there? The developer said, with the new Animal Crossing series, we've always had players move to a new location that already existed. That's true, actually. You just move in on every game, and that's kind of how you start. We wanted to give them a new experience and thought that a deserted island would be perfect. I'm more hyped just with these first two questions than I actually was when I saw the trailer, because it sounds cool to start fresh and start new. As Diablo players, we're always ready for a fresh start. You know what I mean? He said, with this theme, players can enjoy gaining a new foothold on a new life and developing the island. As you progress, new residents may appear and new facilities will be built. So maybe things will be ever changing as you're going along. Certain other characters will open up different businesses or whatever. It'll eventually start to feel like a familiar Animal Crossing game. In other words, you get to enjoy the phase before it becomes a village. So you get to see, like, normally we go to the village and there's people living there and you're like the new resident. Now it's like you're starting from the ground up in this new world, so to speak. They then asked them, can you describe some of the new features? And the developer said there's a system called DIY where you're able to create items from scratch. With the deserted island, players will be starting with a blank canvas. They can collect materials from the island and create items and furniture. Wow. So you'll have randomly crafted items and furniture. I guess not randomly, but you'll be able to take, I don't know, like a bamboo or like a palm leaf and, I don't know, wood and make your own hammock or couch out of island furniture. I'm just trying to make things up. What else could you possibly make? A lava lamp out of lava? What else is there? What could you do? I'm calling it right now. There's probably going to be like a obsidian furniture set, like a blacked out obsidian, like volcanic obsidian set for your house or whatever. That's what I'm calling it, right? You heard it here first on the Bludd Heart Podcast, okay? This is huge. How does multiplayer work? He said that there's 2 main multiplayer modes. One is similar to legacy titles where you're able to visit other people and other villages that you visit. So it's like the standard way, okay? The second mode is a completely new form of multiplayer, local multiplayer. For the first time in the series, up to 4 people living on the same island can play together at the same time in local multiplayer on a single system by sharing Joy-Con controllers. Wow. I don't know. Is it going to be split screen? Oh my goodness. He said before we've had a feature that let families or friends make their own houses and be in the village, but now you're able to play at the same time. But this time with one system, you're able to live and play in the same village simultaneously. That's insane. That's insane. So you can, yeah, wow. I'm trying to think how it would work. I'm reading back up. It says you're able to visit other islands or have your friends visit you online. Up to 8 people can play online. So if everybody has their own Switch, you can play online together and visit and hang out. And if you live in the same house, like roommates or whatever, or family, you can all play together at the same exact time. And that just makes me think of mini games and competitions and all kinds of stuff that they can add in future patches if they haven't already, like an actual fishing competition or whatever, right? You and AI mixed together. Or that might make even trading more interesting because you can trade your sister or brother for materials, or yo, let me get those bells, man. I'll do your homework for you if you give me like a couple thousand bells. I'm trying to upgrade my living room. All right, it's not up to par. That's basically what the article. They just asked him who his favorite character was and what's his favorite bell making tactic. Apparently, he would watch the turnip market and then get rich that way. And then they asked him why does he think people love the franchise so much? And yeah, so just the other questions. But we did learn some new information about the multiplayer, about the island system. And I'm honestly more excited now than I was when I watched the trailer, which is funny because that's what a trailer is supposed to do. But I guess I'm a gamer. I've been bamboozled by bad trailers, or I've been tricked by trailers before. It's nice to have concrete like evidence or what we're going to be doing and how the game's going to play out. I'm definitely going to stream this over there on Twitch, and I'm super excited. I actually streamed Pokemon this year, or last year, this year for like 60 hours. That was a blast. So yeah, Animal Crossing, man. Yo, you guys want to make some bells? Let's talk it over. Let's see what you got. If you want to support the podcast, the Bludd Heart Podcast, you can always just sub on Twitch. You can subscribe or download the episodes. You can leave a rating on the podcast episodes. You can sub on Twitch, YouTube, pretty much everywhere. You can follow me on Instagram.com/Bluddshed, Twitter, pretty much everywhere. I've had such a good time filming these episodes every week. I even posted on Patreon. I use it like a website. So I'm too cheap to get my own website made, apparently. And I use Patreon. I post all my Diablo builds there. And shout out to all the new patrons, too. We should do that on the podcast, right? Who's the latest patrons? We got Chris, Josh, Jay. Para dropped an insanely huge shout out to Peregrine, like a top tier patron. Insane. So thank you guys so much. Also in July, we've had Johnny and Mike, a bunch of you guys. Thank you so much. But anyway, I use Patreon like a website. And I usually post stuff there. And I just posted how much fun I'm having filming the podcast. I'm actually super excited every week to be better at this and to make it flow better. And I'm looking at getting some actually custom transitions and graphics. And I'll let you guys know how that goes. I'm pretty happy with how it is now, but maybe a cool jingle or some nice segues or some sound effects might be a little bit better. But I do like the chill approach that we have to it so far. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. These episodes are on Tuesdays. My name is Bluddshed, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.